So I'm going to play over some basic whistle scales and embellishments just now. These are things that I've been going through with pupils in their online lessons, and I thought I'd put this video together just to help with progress out with the normal lesson times. And and this is obviously open to anyone else who wants to see what's going on with how to get started almost with the whistle. So we'll start off with the D major scale, and we'll blow through this for the first time, and we'll play it twice. First time through, we'll blow through, and we'll get all the way up to the high D, and back down again. So starting on your low D. Okay, so that's the blown through, and then we'll go for the tongued scale. It's just you're basically doing a ta action with just hitting your tongue off the roof of your mouth, just behind your two front teeth, and that kind of, it's almost like that's your first kind of almost grace note style embellishment as well. But again, depending on what tunes you're playing, jigs or reels, these kind of staccato playing, the tongued playing. It's good practice. It's good practice, basically. So, again, from the low D all the way up to the high D. Okay, so G major scale now, just the one octave, G to G, again blown through to start with. And then tongued. And then the A major scale. So the G major scale, the only difference from the D was that you had the C natural, of course. The A major, there's half holding going on now. So you basically just need to, for the high G sharp, just half cover that A hole. You can kind of slide it off if you like, but that would be more for tunes. For the scale here, you can just pull that finger away quickly and then have the separation of notes there. So again, the one octave blown through first. And then tongued. And that's it for scales just now. There are obviously all the minor scales, but I'll maybe do another video on that later. That's good. The D major, G major, and A major scale, that absolutely gets you going with the whistle. So, onto the embellishments now. More embellishments. The cut. We'll start with the cut. If you're coming from bagpipes, then this would be like a grace note, and there's really just the C grace note, your top finger, and your A grace note here. Like your G and E again if you're playing bagpipes, but I'll try not to confuse you. So the bottom hand, your D, E, and F, that's definite A grace note. You want to keep that kind of down the bottom end with embellishments. For your G though, you can chop and change between your C and A grace note, and then obviously your A and B, you want to be using that top finger there. So we'll play from the D to the B and mix up these grace notes here. So. And then back down again, of course. So. Then the taps. We've got taps now. So these, again, relating to bagpipes, are the strikes, but with the whistle, you're just striking the hole below the note that you're on. So if you're playing your E, you're just hitting the actual E hole there to sound a D strike or tap, as we would call it in the whistle world. So starting on the E and going up to the B, C, up to the C from here. And then we're on to the roll, which is kind of you just merge them together, really. There's the short roll and the long roll. We'll be playing the short roll for the sake of these exercises here, which is just the cut and the tap. The long roll is where you would have, for example, for a jig, if you've got the 3 A's in a row, you would tongue the first A, then you'd cut and then tap it. That would be more of a long roll. And for a reel, maybe a longer long roll, where you would play again with the A, you would tongue it, cut it, tap it, and then cut it again. So again, these are things that you get into when you're playing all the tunes, and it's kind of further down the line, I suppose. But starting with the short rolls is definitely fine for now. So starting on the E again. Okay, and then we're on to sequences. So when I started learning pipes about 20 years ago-ish, I think now, on the first page of my exercises for learning pipes was a bagpipe sequence line. And it was good now, actually. It's more, it gives you an idea of how to be moving your fingers around the whistle, or pipes of course, before you get to the tunes. It kind of sets you up nicely for heading into the tunes. So I'll play through that D major scale, again starting on the low D, going all the way up to the top. You can play through this one legato and then staccato, but just blowing through it. I'll just blow through it just now, but when I get to the top end of the whistle, I'll cut it with my tongue, just to help with forcing out these higher end notes. Just makes things a bit more kind of neat and crisp sounding, I suppose, when you get up to that end of the whistle. So starting at the bottom end now with the low D. Again, tonguing at the end there just helps you cut through with the very top end of the whistle. So that takes us on to the octave jumps now. Again, it's just an optional extra thing that you can do, but it helps with also jumping the octave. So be starting on your low D and then tonguing through to the higher D there, and same all the way up the scale, the D scale. Just like that. And then the crans. So I'm not going to do too much on the crans, really. They're quite extreme, actually. They're not basic. This is something that you get to a wee bit further down the line with your whistle playing. I've seen loads of different styles of cran. I was taught by Helen Forbes in Dundee. I had a year's worth of brilliant lessons with Helen. And the cran that I kind of liked the best, really, was the GFA cran. I've seen people play it kind of all the way down the A, G, F, and I've seen people play it all the way up your F, G, A, and there are the kind of, some people might do the G, F, G as well, but I do quite like the G, F, A myself again. So just let you have a listen to that, just so you can see what's going on with the cran. You can play that on the E as well. It works also on the E. So the D though first. That's the cran. So again, we'll not do too much with that because it's quite an embellishment, especially if you're just starting with the whistle. So you can come back to just check the Cran back later once you've been playing for maybe a couple months or so. But yeah, that's it. That's the basic stuff really that you want to be starting with on the whistle, so that you can then start to get onto tunes and start building up repertoire. And again, picking up all the different scales. I'll maybe do another video. I think I will do another video soon with more of the minor scales that you can play on the whistle too, and I'll maybe do some comparisons with different keys of whistles, all the different pitches and all that. So yeah, I'll maybe do that at some point. You can hold me to that if you like. But yeah, if you've got any questions, just leave them in the comments below and I'll try my best to get back to you. Yes, that's it. Thank you very much.